House of the Hidalgo Show. This is Rick the Hijo Benya. It is the 6th day of August 2018, and this is episode 7 of the God and Wrestling Connection, season 2018. Today, we're going to be talking about formation. That's going to be the subtitle of this 7th episode, is formation. And I'm going to show you how to, or what method is utilized to create an organization that you're going to eventually use to do your ministry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these forms here. You've probably seen one before. If you've ever done any kind of business at all, you've seen an SS4 form. They look like this. All right. So this SS4 form is used to apply for an EIN number, Employer Identification Number, with the Internal Revenue Service. There is no danger in doing this. This is simply something that you're going to want to create, because now the Treasury is going to have a record of your organization and how your organization is structured. So they'll always be able to see your organization from its top down to the bottom. So whoever the responsible party is on this SS4, okay, essentially is the king of your organization. So who do you want that to be? Well, since we're creating an organization under Christ and not under the state or the world, remember, there's only two ways: the ways of the world, the ways of the Lord. So since we're creating an organization under the ways of the Lord, we're going to utilize our new creation. So the new creation is going to be the responsible party for this top layer organism. All right. So there's a certain way that you would fill this SS4 form out that is not it's not smart for me to show you how to do that online, but I have set up an exclusive membership that you can join. Instrumentality is actually called DignaChat, and it's an instrument of the House of the Hijo that has helped numerous people to establish their top layer organization, and that is a foreign non-withholding grantors trust. Now, there's things you have to know about a foreign non-withholding grantors trust that are very important to your structuring and governing. All right. So because of that, and because of the sensitivity of the information, I have formed an exclusive membership under the title DignaChat that people can join for a nominal, very nominal fee. And then as part of a membership, they can ask for certain services to be performed on their behalf, such as obtaining the proper number in from the Internal Revenue Service. So this is something that I actually do provide a service for, but only to members. And as I said, the membership is very nominal. It's built that way purposely. If you want to look into this, if you want me to help you to build the top layer of your organization, I will gladly do so in my capacity as Rick the Hijo Benya, under the capacity of DignaChat, which is under the House of the Hijo. Okay, all you've got to do is send to me an email to the email down below and request information to join the membership of this foreign grantors membership opportunity. Okay, if you decide that you want to send for information, which you're going to receive is a packet. The packet is going to tell you exactly what things that this membership can provide for you, and in what ways that we can help you. You're going to, I think it's right now 5 or 6 pages, and those 5 or 6 pages will collect the information I need in order to begin to do the work that you need done to create that top layer organization, a foreign non-withholding grantor's trust, for ecclesiastical purposes, of course. So that's really all of that I can share with you at this time. So this is not going to be a very long video, but it's a video nonetheless that's very important, because this is the beginning of creating your capacity to do whatever ministry God has given you to do. Because that's a capacity that's protected under the Constitution. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is very important for people to understand. We, as the church, as the ecclesia, are under a mandatory exemption. Or excuse me, not exemption, exception. We are mandatorily exempt, except an exception. I don't know, how do you say that? Okay. Anyway, it's mandatory for them to create an exception for us. We do not participate in the titles of the United States. In other words, we don't benefit under any title, and we don't participate in any contract under a title. Now, there are a couple contracts out there that almost every person on the planet has that are antithetical to an ecclesiastical process. One of those is banking. If you have a bank account, a checking, a savings, a money market account, whatever it is, any kind of a banking account, you've most definitely signed a signature card, and that signature card application, within that application, you actually consented to all acts governing banks, to all laws governing banks, and within that set of laws that you've consented to is the idea that you have accepted your role as owing an obligation and a duty to the United States through that banking application. Okay, so that literally puts you under Title 26. This is a fact. You can research it yourself. There's a very good video that was just put out by a guy named Yusuf L. Look up Yusuf L on YouTube and watch his video about invisible contracts. He did a really good job at putting together that information. Okay, so these are some stumbling blocks that there are along the way. That's why we need to create an organization in such a way that we are, so that we have a organization that is clearly defined as ecclesiastical, and that clearly stays out of all contracts that are repugnant to an ecclesiastical organization, such as falling under Title 26. So ask yourself the question, how can an organization who claims to be ecclesiastical and a mandatory exception from the rules that generally apply to 501c3 churches, how can you claim to be that and at the same time agree to be under Title 26? You cannot be. So you have to make a decision, and you have to set this up properly and notice the bank when we go to get banking accounts for our ecclesiastical purposes. The bank must be noticed that this is a mandatory exception, and that as a mandatory exception, it does not fall under the purview of Title 26, and it does not consent to be under Title 26. So it's very important that you do this, because this literally is the difference between a tax protester, which is ungodly, unlawful, and totally wrong, okay, and someone who is a taxpayer, okay. It's okay to be a taxpayer. We all pay a tax to someone. We all owe a duty, an excise to someone, okay? Whether it's to God or whether it's to mammon. We owe it to someone. So it's okay to be a taxpayer. The bigger issue is, whom do you owe the tax to? If you are under Title 26, if you've agreed to being under Title 26, you definitely do owe a duty and obligation to Title 26 and to the United States. And that's something we all have to come to grips with, okay? If you're a patriot in America and you've been reading these Irwin Schiff books, and if you're kind of libertarian and you've been following a lot of these guys, you better watch out. Tax protester is an abomination to both God and state, okay? Because if you owe it, you owe it. If it's an obligation, it's an obligation. Don't give me the Constitution thing, okay? Don't start giving me lip service about the 16th Amendment. Because even without the 16th Amendment, your contract supersedes the Constitution. Your contract supersedes the Constitution. Now, how is that? Well, it's because they can't impair the obligation of contracts. Not even Congress can. All right? So, if you get yourself into a contract, you've got to fulfill it. But I'm trying to show you that there's another way. And the other way is clear. So, God bless you. I hope that you take whatever you can from this, and if you're interested in the package from the DigniChat instrumentality of the House of Dehijo, then please let me know. And that's all I have for today. You have a great day. God bless all of you, and see you next time.